Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. It's Tian and today I am here to speak with you about the sexiest zodiac signs. Now before I go any further, I would love to ask you to hit the subscribe button to be and also the bell notification button to be notified of any upcoming videos about sex, relationships, astrology and all things quantum. I am a psychology student and I do have a breadth of knowledge on both scientific and quantum facts, and I do intend to share them to help other people understand themselves on the highest vibrational level along with others. Now let's get into it, shall we? So sex is considered a taboo subject by some, but not by me because I have Lilith in my 10th house. And also, sex is a psychological desire just as much as it's a psychological need. It is the foundation of procreation and how we are created and the evolution of the human race. Sex is essential in all facets of life, and it is essential to be able to create an interpersonal relationship with someone who is on the same level as us. And that's where this video has been birthed. A friend of mine yesterday asked me, how do I know if this person is going to be able to pleasure me in the right way and be able to match my sexual needs? And it all comes back to astrology and zodiac signs to be able to see where your sexual energy matches up, and that's what this video is all about. So let's jump into it, shall we? So there are a few planets at play in sex. It is all about procreation, intimacy, and emotional fulfillment. We have Mars, Venus, and our moon. Mars is the planet of passion and desire. It is all about our sexuality and how we express our desires in our relationships and approach intimacy. Whereas Venus is all about pleasure. It's about love and harmony and how we give and receive love. And then we have the moon. It is all about our emotional instincts and what we need to be met emotionally, how we nurture others and seek emotional security in our relationships. So what are the most sexually active signs in the zodiac? Well, that's an interesting question and is one that is very easily answered by the rulership and the dynamics of each of the signs. So if you have any of these glyphs in your first house of self, third house of communication, fifth house of pleasure, and eighth house of death, there is a sure by chance that you will be a high sexually pleasurable person and have an active sex life. These glyphs are the moon, Venus, and Mars, like I just mentioned. And the signs that rule these houses are Aries, Gemini, Leo, and Scorpio. Now, Aries is an assertive sexual energy. It is associated with the sign of Mars and embodies assertiveness and directedness in sexuality. Whether you have your Mars, Venus, or Moon in Aries, individuals with these placements prioritize immediate sexual and physical gratification. They approach sex with intensity. Aries have a unique sexual style characterized by quick, passionate encounters, and they focus more on the physical act than the emotional connection. Those with Venus in Aries, however, they desire excitement and the conquest of love. They're the ones that pursue and seek relationships that ignite the passions and independence deep within them. Whereas those like myself, as I have Venus in Aries as well, but those like myself with the moon in Aries also seek emotional validation through physical intimacy. And that plays into that emotional connection that they receive through the act of intimacy. They express their emotions and passions through direct interactions. Then we have Gemini. Gemini wouldn't be the first that you would consider to be a sign of sex. However, due to their curiosity and versatility, Gemini's influence has it ranked to the second most sexual sign in the zodiac. Individuals with Mars or Venus in Gemini are intellectually stimulated by a sexual exploration and variety. They enjoy experimenting with different partners and techniques and are driven by a desire for mental stimulation and novelty in the bedroom. They are the type that like dirty talk. Gemini's sexual encounters also feel mentally detached and physically explorative. Chances are they're also seeking with the same sex partner or opposite sex partner. They tend to be those that may also be bisexual or homosexual. With the moon in Gemini, emotional fulfillment in sex may involve mental connection and exchange of ideas, enjoying playful banter and intellectual engagement. Whereas the Venus in Gemini adds a playful and communicative element to their relationships, enjoying their intellectual rapport and verbal flirtation. Next, we have Leo. Leo is all about royalty and legacy, and there's nothing more that can leave a legacy than our children, and therefore the act of sex and pleasure and co creation. Governed by the sun and associated with vitality and charisma, Leo's approach to sex is passionate and theatrical. Those with Mars or Venus in Leo express their sexuality with confidence and flair, seeking admiration and validation through intimate connections. Whereas when they enjoy being the center of attention, they create a romantic and grand gestures to express their desires. In bed, they are generous lovers who love to display affection and pleasure. Venus in Leo adds a desire of romance and drama, seeking partners who can match their intensity. With the moon in Leo, emotional fulfillment in sex may come from feeling adored and appreciated, craving that deep emotional connection and loyalty from their partners. However, those like me with Mars in Leo enjoy just the act of the pleasure and sex in the passionate and theatrical scheme. Then we have Scorpio. An intense emotional depth of Scorpio is always considered a sign of sex. Ruled by Mars and Pluto, Scorpio stands out as the most sexual sign of the zodiac. Their energy is characterized by intense desire and deep emotional connection. Individuals with Scorpio placements prioritize both physical pleasure and emotional bonding through sex, aiming for profound intimacy and transformative experiences. Scorpio's sexual encounters are often described as passionate and emotionally charged, where every moment feels like a significant and meaningful depth. With Venus in Scorpio, the intensity to their need for emotional depth and loyalty, seeking partners who match their feeling and commitment. Whereas those with the moon in Scorpio, they seek sex to involve a deep need for trust and vulnerability, seeking the transformative experience that heal and empower them as an individual. Scorpio is associated with transformation in all of its forms. The science of sex in astrology delves deeper, whereby people have those with Pluto, Black Moon Lilith, and Eros on their ascendant, descendant, and MC are outwardly sexually desirable and highlight their sexual needs. Pluto is all about exploration and transformation through sex, whereas Black Moon Lilith is all about the sexual nature and expression without restriction, and Eros is all about our sexual desires and kinks of our divine feminine energy. So those are these planets or placements on these highlighted areas of the ascendant and MC, the descendant and IC, ooze that appeal within them. So therefore, a friend of mine, she has her Eros on the ascendant. So sex actually oozes out of her being. Whereas people like myself have Black Moon Lilith on their MC, and they don't have any problems with discussing taboo subjects like sex. Then we have descendant, whereby people with Pluto on their descendant like myself have a fulfilling relationship in that scheme. And then the IC and Eros is all about the sexual desires being met and the home space. Now, I hope that helped you understand yourself and your partner a little bit better in the sexual scheme of things, and how you can identify those individuals who may be able to match your level of desire and passion in the bedroom. If you have any questions, please feel free, or comments, please feel free to place them down in the comments box below. I am an astrologer, a Reiki master, and a reflexologist, And I also do create these lovely pieces of art, so please feel free to jump on Soulful Solutions Art on my Etsy shop. Thank you and bless you.